Whatoplay presents the 10 upcoming Nintendo Switch RPGs coming this 2019 and beyond. Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch. One of PlayStation 3's colorful titles is finally making its grand revival to the modern consoles. And of course that includes the Switch. The first Ni no Kuni game signaled the return of good-looking RPGs. Now coming as a remastered version of its 2013 original, The Wrath of the White Witch feels new, yet familiar. It is living up to the standards of Level 5's talent, and with the help of Studio Ghibli's animators, this game feels like a painting that has come to life. Now running at a 1080p resolution and 60 frames per second, the quality of the game is now on par with its sequel, Revenant Kingdom. The story remains unchanged, but its graphical and performance upgrades are a worthy addition to Switch's growing list of RPG games. Coming this 20th of September. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. 2 decades have passed since this game came out and helped redefine the RPG genre. After Diablo's massive success, Baldur's Gate paved the way for a true D&D experience similar to its tabletop counterpart. This classic doesn't veer away from its source material, and it didn't throw away its best features, which is its saga of intrigue, mystery, and adventure set in a magical medieval land. So you create your own character and you find that perfect trait and ability. Recruit a team of brave allies in a journey of a lifetime. That is what Baldur's Gate is all about. This enhanced edition not only includes the base game, it also contains the entire Baldur's Gate adventure, which includes the Tales of the Sword Coast expansion pack and new party members. It is also the perfect stepping stone to introduce Switch users to this classic title. Coming this September 24. Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition. The latest iteration of this Dragon Quest title makes its way to the Switch with some added content and the ability to switch between its HD remake or back to its 16-bit visuals. Switch users can finally get a taste of what this Dragon Quest fuss is all about, especially now that their famed hero is joining Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. As the luminary and a JRPG protagonist, it is your job to protect the land from destruction and danger. Gather your team of adventurers and experience a robust turn-based combat that no longer feels like 1986. This definitive edition also includes new character-focused stories, so you might have to leave that real life for a while once you get your hands on this content-packed JRPG adventure. It's coming this September 27, 2019. Next is Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. Ever since the 90s, the Atelier series is ever growing. And now on its 21st title, and from the looks of it, Gust Corporation hasn't had enough with its cute and adorable waifu tier protagonists. And if you're familiar with the Atelier titles, you know it's all about the alchemy and the adventure. Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout introduces a brand new story arc with fresh characters into the mix. And in this game, your character Ryza will use the power of synthesis, which is an advanced way of creating new items that could help you in your quest to fight evil. With such a niche audience in the Western market, the Atelier games are something special, and this latest entry will spark some interest to the uninitiated. Coming this 29th of October. Number 5 is Pokemon Sword and Shield. Nintendo returns to give us more Pokemon to obsess with. Sword and Shield boasts a handful of surprises, especially with its new region and starting Pokemon. The island of Galar is a whole new place for you to train and find some fresh batch of pocket monsters, one of which includes this Galarian wheezing gentleman. And if you want to step up your game and dominate the island, you can improve your Pokemon by completing jobs and odd quests. Or if you want to make things even crazier, you can change their size and appearance with its new feature called Gigantamaxing. Striving to become the next champion of the Galar region is not an easy task. But Pokemon Sword and Shield has everything you need to be the very best. It's set to release this November 15, 2019. Number 6 is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. Geralt of Rivia himself is debuting on the Switch in this unexpected port of CDPR's multi-award-winning RPG. Imagine roaming around its magical and haunting world full of monsters and death, especially on Nintendo's hybrid console. However, as beautiful as the world is, it is somewhat of a downgrade compared with PC and PS4's visual presentation. But that is not a huge deal if you're in it for the epic story and memorable characters. As a professional monster slayer and a part-time Casanova, embark on a grand adventure that transcends video game standards. It's an RPG title at its entirety, so every decision counts and every upgrade matters. We can't wait to play this game once it comes out sometime this 2019. Number 7 is Final Fantasy VIII Remastered. Square Enix is also gearing up the modern audience and introducing them to the wonders of Final Fantasy, which is not always about Cloud and his friends. However, the Switch is only gonna get the remastered treatment for their FF titles. But that is not a bad thing, especially when you're the iconic hero with the legendary Gunblade battling through time. Final Fantasy VIII, considered as one of the greatest FF titles, is finally making its way to the Switch with improved visuals, sound, and voice acting this time around. And if you're familiar with this mind-bending journey, this is your chance to relive these character stories. For new players, you're always welcome to experience this underrated classic. It is not Final Fantasy VII, but it's a league of its own. Unfortunately, no solid details about the game's release date yet, but it's coming sometime this year. Trials of Mana. The Seiken Densetsu games are making a comeback this year, and among them comes a full-fledged remake of this 1995 classic. Obviously a step forward compared to last year's Secret of Mana, where the controls are abysmal at most, and not to mention its lack of quality of life changes. Square Enix learned a lot from it, and Trials of Mana, now rebuilt from the ground up, feels like a brand new entry. Especially with its polished visuals and an overhauled gameplay.
So we're able to charge up and attack.
The story remains unchanged. You, as a chosen hero of Mana, save its fallen world from a dark threat, just like pretty much your typical RPG plot. And believe me, it's amazing back then. Fans of this SNES gem will be delighted that this title is a step in the right direction, considering the Mana series had a very rough time over the last couple of decades. It's coming this early 2020. Shin Megami Tensei 5. It's been a while since we've seen another SMT title, and unlike its spin-off Persona, this one is a true role-playing game from start to finish. That means you don't spend most of your day going to school, picking up waifus, or enjoying that slice of life. Shin Megami Tensei is Atlus at its most mature. Still set in modern-day Tokyo, you assume control over protagonists with the ability to control and interact with demons. It is your primary source of power, just like Pokemon. With these demons at your disposal, use them as weapons to fight and save Tokyo from impending doom. However, details are still pretty scarce. The dudes at Atlus are still pretty busy from milking other Persona games. No release date yet.
Wondering what's going on, eh? One question first.
The Outer Worlds. Thank God for Obsidian. While Fallout did suffer a fallout recently, that doesn't mean the New Vegas creators are gonna follow their footsteps. The Outer Worlds is somehow the answer to the lack of great first-person RPGs lately. Taking place outside of our crazy solar system, embark on an even crazier adventure as you make tough choices in its outrageous planetary mayhem. It's still an Obsidian game. Create your own character and immerse yourself in its deep narrative. You could even choose to play as the bad guy or the good guy. The possibilities are literally endless. But unfortunately, there is no release date yet.